Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. How are you all? Good morning, good morning. Good morning or good afternoon. It's 12 past 7 right now. So, good afternoon, guys. Am I audible and visible to you all? Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible and visible to you all? Fine, sir. Srinivasulu, fine. Okay. Let us start. Afternoon, afternoon. Hello, Lakshman Rao. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Hello, Shubha Rao. Good afternoon. How are you guys? What's up? Ready for the last class of the day? Some energy left? Physics done, chemistry done. Now, time for zoology. Little bit relaxing. Right? Hello, Balaji. Hello, Ramcharan. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So I hope you have went through the last class. You have seen the last class as well. In the last class, we completed about the Ctenophora phylum. Then we saw after Ctenophora, then we saw the Platyhelminthes. And, and then we saw the phylum Aschelminthes. 3 phylum we completed. Madhu Babu, good afternoon, beta. Spurti, good afternoon, dear. Good afternoon. Balaji is questioning the elephant in the room, and he's asking the most important question that, sir, how will be the next year paper? Again, I will say you have to prepare as per the NEET 2025 level. What I feel, my gut feeling is that it will be little easier as compared to this year, what I feel. But it doesn't matter what I feel or others feel. The thing is that we have to prepare at the best level possible. Okay, we cannot have any loose ends. We cannot have any loose ends. We cannot skip any chapters. We cannot skip any concepts. We cannot skip any numericals. We have to be absolutely focused. We have to be absolutely well prepared, and especially where you can gain a lot of marks, especially in the chemistry and the biology subject, you have to be up to the mark, so that if physics paper comes difficult, okay, or same like your 2025 level, or little less difficult what it was compared this year, so you can score more marks in the chemistry and biology subject. Okay, physics is tough for everyone, right? So you have to take as much possible marks in biology and your chemistry subject. And being said that, you have to thoroughly prepare physics as well. Okay, so full preparation is required. Expect the worst. Your preparation should be absolutely good, so that any kind of paper which comes, should be able to solve it, right? So that is my say. Okay, so expect the worst. Okay, tough paper hi aayega, and we will prepare for every possible tough questions. Okay, and if it comes easy, well and good. But if it comes tough, so we should be more tougher. So our preparation should be more tough. Exactly. So good afternoon, guys. Hello, Jaswita. Let's start. Okay, so I am audible and visible. I hope you have revised what I asked you in the last class to just read and come the remaining phylums. So when you read and come, when you revise and come, it's little good. Okay, so you can ask bit of your doubts, whatever you have while in the class. Okay, because already, as you all are mostly long-term students, so you have studied this topic many times, what I expect. So it's better to revise a topic and then come in the class, so that you have a better understanding, so that you can clear your doubts. Because see, today, let's say we are going to talk about 3 phylums. All this phylums data, you already know, it is there in the NCERT. But the thing is that when you study, there are some difficulties what you get while studying in the NCERT. And that is the thing you need to ask during the classes as well. Whatever doubt comes impromptu, you have to ask during the class. Okay, so let us continue, guys. Being said that, quickly start with the next phylum, the phylum Annelida. I think we need to start from. So I will go on phylum Annelida. Okay? Phylum Annelida. Let's start. So the name Annelida, why the name of phylum Annelida is Annelida? Let's decode the meaning of Annelida. What do you think? What is the name of Annelida? Why it is kept as Annelida? Because Annelida, what do Annelida show, guys? Annelida, they show ring-like body forms. What they show? Ring-like form. So when you see any annelid, look here. You are looking at an earthworm, you are looking at a nereis, the sandworm, and here you are looking at the hirdunaria, that is the leech. So when you look at them, you can see some ring-like appearance present on their body. Their body is ring-like, and ring-like segments are getting repeated. And ring here means annulus. Ring here means annulus. That's why we call it as the Annelida. And very important property, they are segmented animals. What they are? Segmented animals. And when I say segmentation, the body is segmented, body is externally segmented, internally segmented, and then there are repetition of some organs inside the body. Few organs are repeating in those segments, and that's why we say this is a metameric segmentation. So what do we say? It is a metameric segmentation seen in Annelida. And every single segment, every individual segment what you see is called as a metamere. What it is called as a metamere, this thing we studied in our basis of classification. Now let's talk about habitat. Okay, where is the habitat? They are present everywhere. They are present in fresh water, they are present in sea water, they are also present in the moist soil. Okay, so talking about fresh water, ye leech hai. The leech will be found in the fresh water, right? Then we have the nereis, the sandworm. Okay, which water it is found? Mostly into marine water. Okay, marine sand, and nearby the marine shores you can get this. And talking about ferritima, that is your earthworm. This is your earthworm. Where is earthworm present? Earthworm is present in the moist soil. Okay, so basically all the habitats, they are aquatic also and they are terrestrial also. Terrestrial, they are seen on the moist soil. Aquatic, we have marine environment and fresh water. Now, Annelida, most of them are basically free living. Most of them are what? Free living. Free living means non-harmful, not causing any harm. Earthworm not causing any harm. In fact, earthworm is our friend. Okay, earthworm is a farmer's friend, helping in increasing the fertility of the soil. Then there is nereis. Nereis also non-harmful, doesn't harms the humans. Okay, it looks a little dangerous. Okay, it looks like a centipede, but it is not a centipede. It's a harmless, annelid found in the marine environment. That is your sandworm. And then this guy is leech. Leech is parasitic. Okay, leech is parasitic. Okay, so it attaches to the body and starts sucking up the blood. So it is a ectoparasite. So majority of the annelids are free living, non-harmful. Okay, but few of them are parasitic. And if I ask which kind of parasite is this ectoparasite or endoparasite, what you will say? Leech is ectoparasite or endoparasite? Tell me in the chat box quickly. Come on, tell me. Leech is what? Yes, Arvind Kuturi, correct answer, beta. Very good. Spurti also, correct. So it is an ectoparasite. Okay, now it is not given here. See, this is not given here. It is an ectoparasite. Common sense undi na. So you should mark ectoparasite. Aschelminthes and Platyhelminthes. Last class we studied Aschelminthes and Platyhelminthes. What are they, guys? They are mostly endoparasites. Annelid, few of them are parasitic. Annelids, few of them are parasitic, like your leech, hirdunaria. Okay, are we clear? So Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, endoparasites. Whereas these guys, especially the leech hirdunaria, this is a ectoparasite. क्या है बेटा ये है एक ectoparasite. ये याद रखना. So indirect question will be asked to you, okay, and few of them only. Acha, talking about earthworm and this guy nereis, sandworm, what do they show? They show burrowing. They burrow the soil, or this guy burrows the sand and they hide inside the sand. So burrowing activity is seen, especially by your earthworm. Okay, and with this they actually help to increase the fertility of the soil. Moving ahead, after this, moving ahead guys, next Talking about the further features about your earthworm. So let's talk about the Annelida, germ layer and body cavity. Already we have discussed about germ layer and body cavity for Annelida. Annelida are triploblastic. Okay, showing true coelom, eucoelomates. Can I say Annelida are the first true coelomates? First triploblast to show true coelom? Yes. Platyhelminthes is the first triploblastic organism, but not having any coelom, acoelomate. Okay, but true coelom is first seen in Annelid. So true coelom is present, which is filled with a coelomic fluid. Okay. Now, if you have seen earthworm body doesn't show any outside skeleton, exoskeleton, or endoskeleton. Okay, their body is filled with fluid, and that is called as hydrostatic skeleton. What is that called as? Hydrostatic. So they neither have they neither have endoskeleton. Their body shows hydrostatic skeleton because the coelom is filled with the coelomic fluid. Okay, and they exhibit which level of organization? Organ system level of organization and bilateral symmetry. Basic points we already studied in basis of classification. So nothing much different here to study and go through. Okay. Moving ahead, next point, segmentation, very, very important. Segmentation, that is also metameric segmentation. So whatever segments you see, so see the ring-like structures. What are the ring-like structures called? The ring-like segments are called as annuli. The ring-like segments are called as annuli. And these are repeating. So you can see external segmentation. You can see the external segmentation. You can see internal segmentation also. The septa is separating the segments inside. Annuli is separating the segments outside. So annuli separating external segmentation, septa separating the internal segments. Okay, so it is externally segmented, also internally segmented. And every segment will be called as what? Every single segment will be called as a metamere. Every individual segment will be called as a metamere, and since there is a repetition of this metameres, we say that the phenomena is called as metameric segmentation. What we say? Metameric segmentation. Read. Annelids are characterized by metameric segmentation. True. Their body is divided externally by ring-like grooves. So this grooves what you see externally, which is dividing them, that is called as annuli. Internally, the segments are separated by transverse septa. Now this annuli word and septa word is not given in NCERT. Do you should remember this? No, no problem. So annuli is the separation what you see outside, septa what you see inside. The individual segments are called as metamere, and this phenomena of the segmentation showing metamere is called metameric segmentation. Okay, we have discussed this already. Okay, which are the other organisms to show metameric segmentation? Which are the other phylums you will add which shows metameric segmentation? We can add here chordata also, and we can add here arthropoda also. Arthropods also, chordates also will show the segmentation and metameric segmentation both. Okay, chordates and arthropods. Are we clear? Moving ahead. Chalo, ye ho gaya, basic done. Now talking about the muscles. Now they also show presence of muscles. Annelida shows locomotion also. Like your earthworm is showing locomotion, hiridonaria shows locomotion, nereis show locomotion. For locomotion, they require muscles and locomotory structures. For locomotion, they require muscles and they require locomotory structures. First, we are going to discuss about muscles. Which are the muscles present on them? So here what you are looking is the cross section of the earthworm. So when you see the cross section of earthworm, this is from outside layer to inside of the body. From outside to inside, okay? So this will be present on the outside here. And this will be the inside, okay? Here you can see the coelomic lining. What is this? This is the coelom lining. This is the coelom lining. Acha, looking at the outside, you already know that earthworm breathes via moist cuticle. So the outside layer is the moist cuticle through which the gaseous exchange is going to happen. Then we have the epidermis, And after epidermis, we have the two layers of muscles. We have two layers of muscle, and depending upon their orientation of the muscle fibers, depending upon the orientation of muscle fiber, one fiber is circular muscles, and another fiber which is present longitudinally on the body, that is called as longitudinal muscles. So depending upon the orientation of the muscle fibers, one is circularly arranged, other is longitudinally arranged over the body axis. So what we will say, how many muscles are there? Circular and longitudinal. Okay, and these two muscles are going to help in locomotion. These two muscles are going to help in locomotion. So these are the muscles present in all annelids. Are we clear? Acha, last class we discussed aschelmenthes. Aschelmenthes also shows muscles, but that is only longitudinal. Aschelmenthes have only longitudinal, that is not given in NCERT. Okay, you can see the Ascaris and filarial worm moving, they use their longitudinal muscles. These guys, annelids, will use circular also and longitudinal also. So they have developed one extra muscle. Which muscle? Circular muscle. Okay, moving ahead. These are the muscles. Now let's talk about locomotory structure. Locomotory structure. So let's see how many of you can answer me. What is the locomotory structure present on the earthworm's surface? Hair-like, bristle-like structure projecting outwards. Projecting outward. What that will be called as? Come on. Let's see. Anyone in the chat box? Let's see. Come on. What is the hair-like bristle structure present on the earthworm's body surface which is helping in locomotion? Come on. Starts from S. Starts from S on earthworm. Come on. Studied earthworm little bit. I know earthworm is not there in syllabus now, but you should be knowing that locomotory structure. Setae. What is the structure called? Setae. What is the structure called? Setae. Okay. So setae are the structure. Yes. Setae are the locomotory structure seen on earthworm. Earthworm. Shri Nivasalu. Earthworm beta. Earthworm. When I say nerees, when I say sandworm nerees, nerees have lateral projections. Nerees have lateral fleshy projections, unjointed structures. So sandworm has the unjointed projection, that is called as parapodia. So parapodia is only seen in nerees. Am I clear? Parapodia is in nerees. Earthworm has a setae. Earthworm has a setae, guys. Am I clear? Okay. So parapodia in nerees. So just remember this setae. They might ask you, because setae is very basic. You should be knowing this. Okay. In the earthworm body, and whereas nerees has the parapodia, that is an unjointed structure. Why I am saying unjointed structure? Because joints are seen in arthropods. We are talking about Annelida. So this tricky question may come. Parapodia are jointed structure on nerees laterally. The statement will become wrong because it is jointed. Jointed word is wrong. It should be unjointed. Just note that. Am I clear, everyone? ठीक है? देखो आ गया. What we were talking about, the same thing is there. So in the front of you, you will see the nerees picture is there. This is our nerees, and you can see these lateral projections, okay? And these lateral projections are the parapodia. And what are they? They are unjointed locomotory structure called as parapodia. Why they are parapodia? Because they are present parallel to the body. They are not perpendicular. They are not going down. They are parallel to the body, okay? So parapodia, parallel, podia means feet, okay? Parapodia, individual single parapodium. Okay. And what is the function of parapodia? First is locomotion. Parapodia function is locomotion. So they will use their body's longitudinal and circular muscles. They will also use the parapodia as the locomotory structure. See, I have written here setae. Setae is for earthworm. Okay. Parapodia is for nerees. What is the another function of parapodia? Other than locomotion, tell me quickly, guys. Come on. Another function of parapodia. Anyone? Other than locomotion, what else it will do? Come on. Come on. Some smart students are there. Come on, they will answer. Engulfing food? No, honey. Nahi, beta. Swimming? Yes. Swimming to locomotion ho gaya na, beta. Kirtini, good answer. Swimming, but that is a part of locomotion. Swimming is locomotion, na, beta. ठीक है? Come on, I just gave you the hint. Arey bhai. Yes, yes, yes. Respiration also. Yeah, respiration. Correct. Okay. Suddenly I was playing dumb sheras. So respiration beta. Yes, respiration important. Locomotion, respiration. Ye yaad rakhna. Some previous year questions are there. Okay. Now let's move forward. Okay. Let it be. Okay. So in between I will ask, see guys, in between I will ask you some extra things, okay? I hope you don't get scared, you don't get offended that why sir is saying extra. See, all this, whatever I speak here and there extra, very kuncham I speak here and there extra, that are the PYQs what I'm saying in between. And you should be ready with your pen. If you have not noted down, you should note it down. Okay? Moving ahead, talking about now the organ system, the circulatory system. So circulatory system is closed. They have which circulatory system? Closed circulatory system. In fact, there is a respiratory pigment. So there is a closed circulatory system in Nereis and earthworm. Leeches, it will be open kind. In leeches, it will be open because in leeches, the coelomic space is filled with the blood-like fluid. But you have to mark as per NCERT. Majority of the Annelida shows closed type of blood circulation, तो वही mark करना है. Okay, leeches are the exception. You should know it. But we are speaking as per general point of view. What the majority of the Annelida showing? Closed circulatory system, and their blood is red color. Their blood is red color due to presence of hemoglobin. Due to presence of what? Hemoglobin in the plasma. No RBC. RBC ledu. RBC we have it. Our hemoglobin is present in the RBC. Their hemoglobin is directly dissolved in the plasma. So that gives the red color. And but obvious it is having a respiratory function. But obvious it will be carrying and transporting O2 and CO2. Are we clear with this, guys? Are we clear? Circulatory system understood. Closed circulatory system. Leech is an exception, but for NEET exam, it is a generalized question. What is the circulatory system? It is closed. Clear, everyone? Are we clear, guys? Quickly give the thumbs up here. Come on. Give thumbs up. Understood. So I can quickly go ahead. Okay? Chaliye. Thank you. Let's move ahead. Come on. Moving ahead. Now let's talk about excretory system. Okay? Let's talk about excretory system. Excretory system, Annelida, you can see the segments. You can see one segment, second segment, third segment. And what is there here in the segment? What is this green color structure? It's a coiled tubular structure, which is called as what? Which is called as nephridia. What it is called as? Nephridia. Okay? Nephridia. And that helps in excretion and osmoregulation. Excretion is removal of the nitrogenous waste majorly. Osmoregulation is maintaining the salt and water level balance. And see what I have written. Ammonia is the chief excretory waste. Ammonia is the chief excretory waste. So in earthworm, little bit extra I'm saying here. Normally earthworm release ammonia as their excretory waste, but they have a capability to change it to ureotelic also when the water levels are less. So when water they are getting less, they need to conserve more, they can excrete urea. And when water is enough, so most of the time when water is enough, they are excreting the ammonia. Okay, that's why the major waste, the chief waste is ammonia, and they are ammonotelic organisms. Are we clear? Annelida shows nephridia. Okay, as an excretory structure. Moving ahead. Now, going ahead with nervous system. After excretory system, now we are talking about nervous system. Now, nervous system, many students are confused with nervous system because the language written in NCERT is very typical language. Okay, very typical means in very short they are explaining. It is nothing but a nerve ring with a double ventral nerve cord. Please understand the non-chordates, the invertebrates, like you studied cockroach. You have already studied cockroach, right, last year? In cockroach, what do we say? In cockroach, we say above esophagus, there is supraesophageal ganglion. Below esophagus, there is subesophageal ganglion. Supra means above, sub means below. Supraesophageal ganglion is called as the brain, the cerebral ganglia. That is the brain of the cockroach. So supra and sub Above esophagus, supra, below esophagus, sub. They are connected with circumconnectives or the lateral connectives which are connecting them. And from the subesophageal ganglia, a double ventral nerve cord is running in the body, which is showing ganglia at different levels. Yes, this is what we studied. So here also it is the same thing. Here also neural system consists of paired ganglia, singular ganglion, connected by what? Lateral nerves. So if you see carefully, you can see the digestive system here of the earthworm. You can see the digestive system. Let me label little bit here. So what are you seeing here? Here is the mouth. ये हो गया तेरा माउथ यहाँ पे, ठीक है, ये माउथ है. This is the mouth here. And then I will say this is the pharynx region. This is which region here? This is the pharynx. Okay. And above the pharynx, in cockroach it is above esophagus. In cockroach it is above esophagus. Here it is above the pharynx. And above the pharynx, you are looking at which ganglia? Cerebral ganglia, that represents the brain of the earthworm. And cerebral ganglia, you can also call it as suprapharyngeal ganglia. What you can also call it as suprapharyngeal ganglia, present above the pharynx. Ye ho gaya brain. Okay. Similarly, one ganglia is below here. See this, one ganglia is below and connected by lateral connectives on this side and this side, like this. Connected by lateral connectives. So it becomes a ring-like structure. So if I show you here, there will be a ganglia above. Okay. Let's say this is pharynx. Ye kya hai? Ye pharynx hai. Okay. Let's say this is your pharynx. Above pharynx, suprapharyngeal ganglia. Below pharynx, subpharyngeal ganglia, and then they are connected with what? Then they are connected with lateral nerves. Then they are connected with lateral nerves. Okay. Suprapharyngeal ganglia, subpharyngeal ganglia connected by lateral connective. What it becomes like? It becomes a ring. What it becomes? It becomes a ring-like structure. Ring-like means someone has put a ring on the pharynx. Okay. And that is the suprapharyngeal ganglia, subpharyngeal ganglia. So this is called as a nerve ring. What is this called as a nerve ring? And from this, from below, the subpharyngeal ganglia will give rise to what? It will give rise to a double ventral. What it will give rise to? A double ventral. You can see double ventral nerve cord. What it will be showing? A double ventral nerve cord. So you can see from here, whatever this structure is going, this is the nerve cord. What is this structure? Nerve cord. You can see this. Here is the nerve cord passing. What is this passing here? This is the nerve cord passing here. Okay, this is the nerve cord passing here. It appears to be single. Okay, when you dissect the earthworm and when you see, it appears to be single, but actually it is a double ventral nerve cord. And between that nerve cord, at regular intervals or at some intervals, you are going to have ganglias. What you are going to have? Ganglias. And ganglia will give rise to nerves. See these nerves? Ganglia will give rise to nerves. These nerves are called as lateral nerves. These nerves are called as lateral nerves. So very simple. If I simplify what they have written here, neural system consists of paired ganglia. One ganglia above, this is the pharynx of the earthworm, the green part. Above, suprapharyngeal ganglia. Below, subpharyngeal ganglia. Suprapharyngeal ganglia is the brain. Suprapharyngeal ganglia is the brain. This one, that is your cerebral ganglia. And then these two, the upper ganglia and the lower ganglia, supra and sub, they are connected by what? See, they are connected by lateral nerves. These are the lateral nerves connecting them to what? To a double ventral nerve cord. And this is here the double ventral nerve cord running. And I have given you a definition also. What is a ganglion? Ganglion is nothing but an aggregation of nerve cells. Okay, you can note this down. What is a ganglion? Ganglion is aggregation of nerve cells, neurons. So when nerve cells, neurons come together, we get a ganglion. And from ganglion, the other nerves go through the body. Are we clear with this, guys? So in short, you can just remember the nervous system is nerve, ring and nerve cord. Nerve ring and nerve cord. Nerve ring is made up of supra and subpharyngeal ganglia, which is connected to a nerve cord, and nerve cord is a double ventral nerve cord. On that, ganglias are present, and ganglia give rises to the lateral nerves supplying the lateral structures of the body. Are we clear, guys? ठीक है? Are we clear with this nervous system? Come on in the chat box. Quickly in the chat box, guys, any doubts regarding this, please ask. So if you understood this now, if you understood this nerve ring and nerve cord, then cockroach nerve ring nerve cord problem is also solved. In cockroach, this pharynx will be replaced by esophagus. Above esophagus, supraesophageal ganglion, below esophagus, subesophageal ganglion. That is connected to the double ventral nerve cord, showing ganglia at the segments. Okay? Segmental ganglia. They are called as a segmental ganglia. So nervous system is done. ठीक है? Moving ahead now. After nervous system, let us talk about the other system. ठीक है? आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's move ahead. Now talking about reproductive system. Let's talk about reproductive system. So some of the individuals are unisexual. Some of the individuals are bisexual. Unisexual means dioecious. Unisexual मतलब क्या हो गया? Dioecious. Male, female have separate sexes. You can see here nereis. You can see nereis here. Nereis. Male, female, separate sex. Male is mostly shorter in height. Female is longer in height. Okay. And nereis shows unisexuality. Male, female, separate sexes. Or I can say dioecious. What I can say? I can say dioecious. And bisexuality, that is the monoecious forms. Monoecious are bisexual, like earthworm has both male and female. Earthworm has both male and female sex on the same body. Okay, ovaries, testes, both are present. Okay, so now we are not having earthworm in the syllabus, but it was a very good question on which segment testes was present, which segment ovary was present. Like that questions used to come when earthworm was there in the syllabus, right? So we have unisexual individuals, nereis. Bisexual individual, who are they? Earthworm and leeches. Earthworm and leeches. And reproduction is only sexual. No asexual mode of reproduction. Reproduction is only sexual. Now the thing is that they have not told you about internal fertilization, external fertilization in the Annelida. Okay, because some examples we have of external also, some we have of internal also, right? So that's why no need to worry, internal, external fertilization, right? So directly moving ahead, okay? And what are the examples, guys? What are the examples? Here we have the examples: nereis. Nereis, common name, sandworm. Ferretima or marine worm also we can say. Ferretima is your earthworm. Hidunaria, that is the blood sucking leech. Okay. Okay, one little extra question. Let's see how many of you answer. Leech sucks our blood. Okay, and blood has a tendency to clot when it is outside the body, because in our body we have the heparin that doesn't allow the blood to clot whenever it is not required. Only when injury happens, blood clotting is needed at that time. So what is that chemical substance present in the leech which prevents the clotting of the blood? Quickly in the chat box, guys. ठीक है? Yes, Spurti, very good. Hirudin is the answer. Hirudin. Hirudin, that is present in the saliva of the leeches, that prevents the leech to not clot the blood inside the mouth or in their body. Okay, so hirudin, very similar substance to heparin only actually. Okay, that's similar protein. that prevents the blood clotting. So absolutely right, Spurti, Kirtana, Lavanya, Balaji, and Jaswita, very, very good. Moving ahead now, okay? Annelida is done. Annelida done. Now let's move to the next phylum. Now let's move to the next phylum. Come on, guys. Okay, come on again, get refreshed, and let's start. Arthropoda. Which phylum we are going to talk about? Arthropoda. Now, arthro means joints and poda means appendages. Arthro means joints and poda means appendages. These are the animals which show jointed structures. In fact, the whole body is like a Lego. You know, Lego game, everything we joint and create the structure. Every part of the body is jointed. Okay? Yeah, mostly all leeches are included in Annelida. Yes, beta. We can say that. Yes, leech belongs to Annelida only. Okay? So, Arthropoda, jointed appendages. So, their body shows a lot of joints. Okay? And this is the largest phylum of animal kingdom because over 2/3, over 70% of animals discovered are belonging to Arthropoda. This point you also studied where? This point you also studied in biodiversity chapter. Over the 2/3 of all named species on the earth are arthropods. Okay, so roughly 70% of the animals are belonging to Arthropoda. And in Arthropoda, the largest class is Insecta. The largest class is Insecta, the insects. Okay, and animals of phylum Arthropoda you can find everywhere. In every habitat they are present. They are the very successful phylum, I will say, since they are present in huge numbers. And also one line there in biodiversity, if I recall, many of the arthropods still are yet undiscovered. Like you go to Amazon, that is having the highest number of, I think, the insects and the arthropods present there. The diversity is very high there. And still, some millions of them are also yet to be discovered, right? So, a lot of arthropods still are undiscovered. Here we are talking about the discovered ones, okay? Like more than 900,000 species we have discovered, okay? And they are present on land, soil, seawater, freshwater. So since they are a successful phylum, they are present every possible habitat. Are we clear? And they are also present on the animals and plant body, and they behave like a parasite. What they behave like, guys? As a parasite. So they are parasite to plants also, they are parasite to animals also. Many arthropods, many insects, they damage our crops. Like one of the locust example is given, locusta, okay, gregarious pest, damages our crops. Similarly, there are many other insects like your bed bugs are there, which are parasites to us, ticks are there, mites are there, right? They are parasites to us. They are ectoparasites. What are they? Mostly whatever arthropods are parasites, they are ectoparasite. Are we clear? Are we clear? Acha, do we have any annelid, which is a plant parasite? Leech is a parasite, we said ectoparasite, blood-sucking leech from animals. Do we have any annelid which harms the plants? Can I say there is a annelida or any annelid which is a parasite to plants? You can say no. No is the answer. Okay, so there is no exception there. No annelida harms the plants. Okay, so here, these guys, arthropods, they are parasites to animals also and plants, and they are ectoparasites. What are they? Ectoparasites. Clear hai? Moving ahead. Now going ahead, let's talk about the general features very quickly. Let's talk about the general features, guys. They are triploblastic organism having true coelom. Okay, and their coelom is little bit reduced. Coelom is there, but the coelom cavity is reduced, and the coelom cavity is filled with blood. The coelom cavity is filled with blood. So I request you all to remember little bit about cockroach. So what we studied in cockroach, that cockroach have an open circulatory system. Why? Because the coelom, the coelomic space is filled with a blood-like fluid that we called it as hemolymph. So here also the body coelom, seal, is filled with blood. Blood means hemo here. So the body cavity is called as a hemocoel. The body cavity is called as hemocoel because it is filled with blood. And that's why we say arthropods show open circulatory system. What do arthropods show? Open circulatory system. Another name for open circulatory system is hemocoelomic circulatory system. For open circulatory system, there is one more name, hemocoelomic circulatory system. Means the blood is filling the coelom, bathing the organs and tissues. So open circulatory system is also called as hemocoelomic circulatory system. And this system will be very slow. The blood will be flowing very sluggishly, very slowly. There is no control. The speed is also very less in this open circulatory system. Okay? Moving ahead, guys. Come on. And next, talking about symmetry. Talking about symmetry, the symmetry is bilateral symmetry. We already studied. Arthropods have bilateral symmetry. And talking about the level of organization, they have organ system level of organization. What they have? Organ system level of organization. Very basic point, general points. Okay. And now comes the very important point, the body wall. Now comes the very important point, body wall. See, what are you seeing, guys? Are you seeing a real insect? Do you think the real insect is there here? What are you seeing in the picture? Tell me. What is in the picture? Is it a real insect? Is it a zombie? What it is? What do you think what it is? This is what? Definitely it's an insect. Okay. Definitely it looks like an insect only, an arthropod only. It is just the outer shell. The outer, not the shell, I will say. It is just the exoskeleton. Empty exoskeleton. Okay. It means that this insect has already done the molting. What they have done? Molting. Shedding of the exoskeleton. Ecdysis. Ecdysis. Molting is also called as ecdysis. So see, talking about body wall, insect are successful or arthropods are successful. Arthropods are successful on the planet Earth only due to one major reason, that is presence of exoskeleton. That is made up of chitin. What it is made up of? Chitin. So the body wall is very thick, tough, and it is a non-living structure. Exoskeleton is a non-living, okay? And that is made up of chitin, so it is called as a chitinous cuticle, which forms exoskeleton. So chitin is a very tough material which makes their exoskeleton. That makes them to survive even the harshest conditions, I will say, and that reduces the water loss from the body. So very tough protective covering. Okay, so a lot of protection is there, very tough, and it also prevents water loss from the body. So even if you go in the deserts and all, where the water scarcity is too much, still they survive due to their chitin. And but obvious, one more reason is there. One more reason is there. They are uricotelic. Insects are uricotelic. Their nitrogenous waste is uric acid. So water requirement is also less. Plus exoskeleton tough chitin that is preventing the water loss. And that's why it is one of the successful phylum. Now coming to the question of honey. Honey is asking, sir, why they shed their exoskeleton. Now the problem is that, like if I ask you, can you wear your 5th standard shirt or pant? Can you wear your clothes which of 5th standard, 4th standard? Can you wear that right now? Not possible, right? Not possible because your body is showing growth. Your body has shown growth and you cannot wear the previous clothes which you wear, right? Similarly, their body is also growing. Their body is also growing. So the exoskeleton becomes too tough. So it prevents the growth of the body. So what they have to do is, on the regular basis, at the regular intervals, what they are going to do, they are going to go in a corner, they are going to hide somewhere, they will release a hormone from their body called as ecdysone. They are going to release a hormone, ecdysone, and ecdysone hormone will slowly loosen up the exoskeleton, and then they are going to shed, remove the exoskeleton. That is called as a molting, M-O-U-L-T-I-N-G, or ecdysis. ECDYSIS, ecdysis. So ecdysis and molting is shedding of exoskeleton due to the tough nature of the exoskeleton, which is preventing the body growth. So that's why they have to do the molting. That's why in your cockroach chapter also, if you remember, in cockroach chapter also, the young nymph cockroach goes into 13 times molting and then it develops into an adult, right? Yes or no? You remember that sheds the exoskeleton. So that is the reason they are shedding the exoskeleton. With crabs, with insects, with all the arthropods, they are doing that. Are we clear with this, guys? Are we clear? Yes? Yes or no? See, I talked about one hormone also here. I talked about one hormone also here. I talked about the ecdysone hormone. Which hormone? Ecdysone hormone. So, does arthropods show hormonal system also, or do they have some endocrine glands also? Do arthropods have endocrine glands also? Yes. Answer is yes. They have endocrine glands also, but it is a very simple, basic endocrine system. So if you go in a hormonal chapter, if you go in chemical coordination chapter right now in the NCERT, you can find a line that in the invertebrates, they have some few hormones present and that show simple endocrine system. Whereas in humans and the other vertebrates, they have a complex endocrine system with a lot of hormones being shown. Are we clear? So it's there. Hormones are there, but very less. Okay. So endocrine glands are also there, but very less, and only few hormones are there. And one of them is the ecdysone, which helps in exoskeleton. Okay. Moving ahead, guys. Come on. Next. Talking about their body parts. So here you are looking, let's say a honeybee or a wasp. I will say it is a wasp. Okay. It's a wasp here, okay? And their body is divided into 3 segments. So majority of the arthropods, I will say, arthropods have many classes, okay? This arthropoda has some 7 classes inside it, okay? Arthropod is a very huge phylum. So it is divided into many classes, okay? And one of the major class, one of the biggest class in Phylum Arthropoda is Insecta. What it is? Insecta. Now, if you read the word insecta, insecta means in sections. Insecta means what, guys? Insecta means in sections. Means their body is divided into sections. And here you can clearly see insecta, majorly, most of the insect have 3 segments on their body. That is head, thorax, and abdomen. Head, thorax, and abdomen. So insecta shows this, but if you see a crab, if you see a prawn, in that you cannot see the head and thorax separated because the head and thorax is fused in the prawn, in lobsters and crabs, okay? And that is called as a cephalothorax. What is that called as a cephalothorax? And they are the crustaceans, okay? They are the crustaceans. So crustacea, I just told you the another class of arthropoda, crustacea, the crabs, prawns, lobsters, which have a little thicker shell, okay, chitin along with little bit calcium carbonate that makes it little hard. So they are the crustaceans. In crustaceans, you don't have head, thorax, and abdomen. There you will have head and thorax fused, non-distinguishable. That will be called as cephalothorax. Are we clear? But since majority of the arthropod belongs to insecta. In biodiversity, there is a line also. Out of every 10 animals, 7 are insects. Okay? Arthropoda is the largest phylum, but in arthropoda, different classes are there. One of them is the major one, insecta. And out of every 10 animals, 7 are insects. And all the insects will show this body pattern where the body segments are divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. So they have, first of all, see what they have written here. Animals of phylum Arthropoda vary considerably. Okay, yeah, like this head, thorax, abdomen cannot be applied to your crustaceans. They have which appendages? They have jointed appendages. What they have? Jointed appendages. So here you can see the legs, the 3 pair of the legs, the prothoracic, mesothoracic, metathoracic leg. Then you have the wings. Okay, like in cockroach, 4 wings and hind wings. They are also jointed appendages. Then there is antenna, that is also jointed appendages. Then the mouth parts, labrum, labium, mandible, maxilla, they are also jointed appendages. Then antenna also, individual segments are there in the antenna. That is also a jointed appendage. So body shows what? Body shows arthros, joint, poda, appendages, and the body is segmented externally. Body is segmented externally into what? Head, thorax, and abdomen, majorly in the insects. Majorly in the insect. They have given this insect point. Okay, so remember, head, thorax, and abdomen is there. Are we clear with this point, guys? Come on. Are you getting me, guys? Yes, or it is becoming too much? Are you awake or sleeping? I hope you are not sleeping, since it is an offline, it's an online class. I cannot see how many of you are sleeping here, but I hope you are not sleeping though. Come on, guys. Are you there? Are you there? Just give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, just raise your hands, give some emoji, so I can understand that you are awake. Because see, my habit is there, once I start speaking, I don't know where to stop actually. So it becomes too monotonous, and some people might sleep there. Yeah, so please don't sleep. Yeah, you don't have to sleep, okay? Take some black coffee. Good, good, good. After this class, take little bit lunch, then relax a bit, and then you can study again for the weekend exam and revise whatever you're taught today. Okay? Chaliye, let's move ahead. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for telling me you are awake. Okay? Now let's move ahead. Let's talk about the respiratory system now. Respiratory system is interesting. A lot of questions can be made on this also. So since arthropods are present in different habitats, so using a single respiratory organs, they will not breathe everywhere, right? Some organisms are on the land, some organisms are in the water, okay? So they will require different respiratory organs. That's why, as you read here, gills, book lungs, tracheal system are the respiratory organs present in the arthropods. So quickly, let's do an exercise, and you guys will tell me where gills, where book lungs, and tracheal system is present. Come on. First, talking about gills. Gills किसमें present होगा बोलो जल्दी. Gills. In which organism you will say gills are present? Come on, tell me. So gills. बोलो. Gills, I will say crustaceans. Gills, you can write crustacea class. Crustacea class, बेटा हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं arthropods. Fishes answer is also correct for gills, but please understand, arthropod gill arrangement and fishes gills are very different. Okay, fishes gills are derived from pharyngeal gill slits. That is a different structure. They are called as gills though. Here also it is gill only, but technically speaking they are different. ठीक है, तो गिल्स बोलोगे आप प्रॉन्स में है और क्रैब्स में बोल सकते हो. Prawns, crabs, etc. Basically in the crustacea group, I can say. Crustacea class. इसको crustacea class में चिपका देते हैं, ठीक है? ये crustacea हो गया. जल्दी से book gills. बोल दो भाई, book gills बोल दो. Come on. Book gills किधर होगा? Book gills. Anyone? Book gills. Limulus, the living fossil. Limulus have book gills. So actually in the limulus, that is your wrongly mentioned as king crab. Actually it is a horseshoe crab. It is not a king crab, but we will go as per NCERT. So limulus has layers present in their gills, which looks like a pages of books. They are called as a lamellae. Like thylakoid lamellae, layer by layer. So here also lamellae are present. They appear like pages of books. So it is called as book gills. And you know limulus, it's a crab only, okay? It's a horseshoe crab, okay? And it is a living fossil present on earth for a very long time, right? And it shows book gills. ये एक याद रखो. इसके बाद book lungs. जल्दी से. Book lungs बता दो very quickly. Come on guys, tell me book lungs. Book lungs किधर मिलेगा? Book lungs जल्दी. Yes, book lungs you can say Arachnida. Book lungs you can say class Arachnida. Class Arachnida. Arachnida class हो जाएगा आपका spider और scorpion. Spider and scorpion. In spider and scorpion you will have book lungs. Book gills and book lungs are very similar structure actually. But since spider and scorpion, see, book gills and book lungs are very similar structures, but book gills, because it is present in water, so it is called as book gills. And since spider and scorpion is on the land, that is called as a book lungs. Okay, okay. So structure same hai, but since it is present in water and outside water, that's why it is called as book gills and book lungs. And last, very, very easy. Many of you already know tracheal system. Tracheal system किसमें होगा बेटा? Tracheal system you already know. Cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. Yes. Tracheal system. अरे यार, कौन सा कलर ले लिया मैंने ये? Tracheal system यहाँ लिख देते हैं. Tracheal system will be seen in cockroach. Cockroach, or I will say the insects. Majority of the insects, grasshopper, cockroach. Okay, most of the insects, they all have tracheal system, which you are going to study in cockroach chapter also. 10 pair of spiracle connected to the trachea dividing into the tracheoles, and that is coming in contact with the body tissue and the fluids, which is helping in the respiration or the exchange of gases. Okay, so that completes your respiratory organs. Okay, any doubt in this? Any doubt in this, guys? Is there any respiratory pigment, hemoglobin, ऐसा कुछ present है क्या यहाँ पे? Any hemoglobin thing like respiratory pigment is present in the blood? Hemoglobin ले दूँ, नहीं. It's hemolymph. The blood is called as hemolymph. It's a colorless blood, yaar. Come on. So it is not having any respiratory pigment. Hemolymph है, ठीक है? Okay. Moving ahead. Next. After respiratory organs, come on. Here comes blood vascular system. Chalo, aa hi gaya. Let's talk about circulatory system. Circulation is open type. Open circulatory means the coelom space is filled with blood-like fluid, hemolymph, that is bathing the organs and the tissues. So see, circulation in insects is open type. Blood does not flow in definite vessels. Definite vessels are absent. You may have few larger vessels. You may have some vessels, okay? Like if you go to cockroach diagram, if you go in the cockroach diagram in the cockroach chapter, you can see the 13-chamber heart is there, which is lying dorsally. And then we have an anterior aorta there. That's a vessel, okay? That's a big anterior aorta that is just dumping the blood in the head. And then it fills the body. So some big vessels are there, but a definite pattern of circulatory system is not there. Artery, veins, capillary, ऐसा पूरा network तो नहीं है. Okay, so definite vessels are not present, and we say that hemolymph is the fluid in the circulatory system of the many arthropods. Most of the arthropods have hemolymph only. That is a colorless blood-like fluid. Plus, you studied one more cell, hemocytes. Okay, hemocytes is also there in the cockroach, and that is a phagocytic cell working like a WBC, engulfing and digesting the foreign bodies. Okay, that hemocytes, that we will talk in cockroach. Okay, just recalling a little bit. ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं, चलिए. Let's move ahead. Now, after this, what is there? Sense organs. Let's talk about what, guys? Sense organs. Sense organs. See, wow. Simple eyes. First you are, tell me which is this organism you are looking at. Don't get scared, okay? What is this animal here, guys? Tell me quickly. What is this animal we are looking at? Tell me. क्या है ये? Cockroach नहीं है बेटा. Cockroach नहीं है. It's a spider. What it is? It's a spider. ठीक है? You can see the 3 simple eyes, and you can see the compound eyes. Then you can also see the antenna here. Now, let's recall a little bit about what are the sense organs doing. So, in arthropods, they have very well developed sense organs. Means the nervous system is very well developed, I will say. Nervous system is very well developed, and a lot of sense organs are there. So here you have the simple eyes. यहाँ पे ये simple eyes present है, and this big bean-shaped structure, that is the compound eye. And in compound eye, there are hexagonal units like structure called as ommatidium present. These are the omatedium, yes or no? Hexagonal structures, omatedium present. Okay, it's a very zoomed image, honey. थोड़ा zoom image लिया है. It's a zoomed image. Okay, ऐसा selfie लिया, selfie. Spider का. Next, sensory organs like antennae. In cockroach, we have seen antennae. See, in prawns also, in lobster also, there is antenna. ठीक है? Majority of the arthropods have antenna. They have eyes. Eyes are of two types: simple eyes and compound eyes. Simple eyes and compound eyes. And if I refresh your memory a little bit, what we studied in cockroach last year, that cockroach have compound eyes, okay, kidney shape, and compound eyes have individual small unit like structures that are called as the omatedium. Yes, some thousands omatedia are present, and in every omatedium a part of picture is formed. A part of picture is formed. So the whole picture is formed in the individual units omatedium, and that gives a little blurry image that is called as a mosaic vision. Sensitivity is very high, but resolution, clarity is very poor, right? So compound eyes, right? In many arthropods, compound eye is present. This is the compound eye here. This one is the compound eye here. And in compound eye, you are looking at the individual unit structures, which are called as the omatedium. What these are called as? Omatedium. Many of them omatedia. And they provide which vision? Mosaic vision. And what is mosaic vision? In mosaic vision, the whole image is divided into small segments. So a part of picture will be formed in individual omatedium. So when a cockroach is looking at you, when a housefly is looking at you, have you seen Iga movie, very famous Telugu movie, Iga? So in that individual omatedium is making one small picture. So let's say thousands of omatedias are there. So the whole image is divided into the omatediums, and that gives a blurry image. Okay, and that is called as a mosaic vision. So sensitivity is very high. Okay, so you might have tried to kill a housefly, okay, attacking from here and there, but the housefly quickly moves away because they have very high sensitivity. They can quickly see something is approaching towards them through the mosaic vision, but the clarity is very poor. The resolution is very bad. Okay, so that is the mosaic vision. Okay, more sensitivity, less resolution. Absolutely right, honey. Perfect. Next, some also. Now talking about simple eyes. Now simple eye is given. Simple eye function is not given. Compound eyes will help in mosaic vision. Compound eyes will make the picture and divide the picture into small segments. That is the mosaic vision. But what is the function of simple eye? Simple eye given in the NCERT also, but they have not mentioned function. Compound eye they have explained in the cockroach. Tell me function of simple eye. The simple eye helps in what? Compound eye made up of omatedium units, that is helping in mosaic vision. What is simple eye doing? Simple eye क्या कर रहा है? What is the function of simple eye here? Come on. What is the function of simple eye? Anyone? जल्दी देख लो, Google करके check कर लो, बता दो मेरे को. Simple eye. At least you will check an answer at least. Simple eye checks the intensity of light. Simple eye checks the intensity of the light. Okay. Every household, Indian household or any household, they have a bit of cockroaches in their home nearby the kitchen. They have cockroaches in the kitchen, right? So during the morning time, daytime, the cockroaches, you can't easily spot them out. But during the night time, let's say night 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you suddenly went into the kitchen and you switch on the light and suddenly you see all the cockroaches dancing here and there. Run. Okay? So how do they mostly come in night only? Sir, they are nocturnal animals. We studied in the cockroach chapter. It is given it's a nocturnal animal. It is mostly active during the night time. But how do they understood that, okay, it's a daytime, it's a night time. So during daytime, the intensity of light is more, and during nighttime, intensity of the light is less. And that intensity of the light is checked by the simple eye. So simple eye during daytime will easily check. They will be sitting in the crevice in the corner and see the light intensity is more. We should not go out or else we will be smashed. And in the night time when the lights are off, simple eye easily detect that, okay, light is not there, it's dark. Now we can come out. ठीक है, and using their antenna and all the now antenna also light gathering, yes, so it's a light gathering and image forming organ, right? So mostly it is light gathering. Light gathering is simple eye, checking the intensity of the light, whereas the compound eye is helping in the image formation, that is the mosaic vision. Okay, now talking about antenna, ये antenna क्या करता है? एंटीना का फंक्शन क्या है? एंटीना इज सेंसिटिव टू टच, that is tactile sensation, TACTILE, tactile sensation, that is touching, and sense of smell, olfaction. They can also do the sense of smell through their antenna, that is antenna's function. Now coming to the next sense organ, one more sense organ, let's do not miss that sense organ, that is statocyst. What it is? Statocyst, and they have written it is a balancing organ. Like if I ask you, what is the balancing organ in your body? What is the balancing organ in your body? Right now you're sitting on the chair, you are maintaining the static equilibrium of your body, balancing the body. I am here standing, moving, and here and there I am maintaining the dynamic equilibrium. Okay, ear, very good. In ear where beta? External ear, internal ear, middle ear. Kaun sa ear? Quickly. Internal ear. Now when you go to the internal ear, we have the cochlea, which is having the organ of Corti, which helps us hearing the sound, and then we have the vestibular apparatus containing the semicircular canals, yes, and the otolith organ. Semicircular canal and otolith organ, they are helping in the balancing of the body. So the semicircular canals in the internal ear and the otolith organ, they communicate to the cerebellum. So that's how your cerebellum and this internal ear together helps to make the balance of your body by coordinating your skeletal muscles, ठीक है, ये काम आएगा cerebellum में. What knowledge right now I gave you, it is helpful in cerebellum, but that is how we are balancing our body. So cerebellum coordinating the voluntary skeletal muscles with the help of internal ear, semicircular canals, ठीक है, that is a part of syllabus. But how these guys do the balancing? And this statocyst, which is a balancing organ, majorly it is seen in crustaceans. ये statocyst किसमें मिलेगा? ये statocyst, ये देखो. Now statocyst, this is the structure of statocyst. What you see here is a statocyst, and inside this there is statoliths, like calcium-like stones are there. Chinna stones are like there, calcium-like stones, and these are surrounded by a sensory epithelium which is connected to a neuron. Similar, we have more advanced structure. We have the otolith. We also have the calcium stones present inside. Okay, the otoconia stones present in our ear, that helps in balancing. These guys also have the calcium stones like structure, and that whole structure makes the statocyst. That is a balancing organ present in crustaceans. Where it is present in crustaceans like prawns, lobsters, and all. Okay, that is the statocyst, balancing organ. So when they are in the water, so statocyst is seen in vertebrates, yes beta. Arthropod में भी मिलेगा, mollusca में भी मिलेगा. It is not given in NCERT. Please understand. Statocyst is a balancing organ seen in crustaceans also and mollusca also. They are also present in the water. So we can say it is present in invertebrates. But NCERT has not mentioned it. Okay. So, but you should remember that one of the sense organ is statocyst, balancing organ. Okay. So when they are in the water, they need the balancing, and that is how the statocyst is helping in them. So a lot of sense organs. Okay. So I hope you got little clarity about the sense organs. Okay. Now talking about excretory organs. Talking about excretory organ, they are talking about here Malpighian tubules. Which tubules? Malpighian tubules, they are present at the junction of midgut and hindgut. Okay, where they are present, this is our hindgut and this is our midgut. At the junction of the midgut and hindgut, the filament structure, some 100 to 120 filament-like structure, Malpighian tubules are present, and they help in synthesis of uric acid. They help in synthesis of uric acid as a nitrogenous waste. So whatever from the hemolymph, the waste will be collected, modified into uric acid, that is the urate salts, and that will be excreted in the fecal matter. So that is Malpighian tubules. What about prawns and lobsters? What about prawns, lobsters, crabs? Will they have Malpighian tubules? Malpighian tubule is majorly for insect. uricotelic organisms. So whichever arthropods are having malpighian tubules, like grasshopper, cockroach, all the other insect, that is malpighian tubules. Okay, and this we study again in detail in, where we study this in detail in cockroach chapter. So these are uricotelic organisms. So whichever arthropods have malpighian tubules, they will be showing uricotelic mode of excretion. Acha, what about green glands? What about green glands, guys? Come on, tell me. Have you heard green glands? Green glands, guys, come on. Or antennal glands. Green color gland or antennal gland that is present in crustacea. Very good, Isha. And that is given in excretion chapter. In excretory products and their elimination. In excretory products and elimination. In excretory products and elimination chapter, prawns, crustaceans, they have green gland, and that is present near their antenna. That is present near their antenna. So when you uproot the antenna and the segment of the head, you can see the green gland running there. And the people who eat prawns, they might be knowing, before eating the prawn, we need to, just remove that glands, because that contains the excretory waste. So that is the green gland, and it appears greenish in color. That's why it is called as green gland. And since it is present beneath the antenna, and that's why it is called as antennal glands. Green glands or antennal glands also help in excretion, mostly ammonotelic waste, because they are present in water. Prawns, crabs, lobsters, sare crustaceans, green glands or antennal glands. Where you will find this? You will find in excretion chapter. Are we clear with this, guys? Yes? ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's talk about reproduction and development. Okay, let's talk about reproduction and development. Fertilization in arthropod is internal, usually internal. Means some form may show external fertilization, but you have to go as per NEET exam. Okay, you have to go as per NEET exam, as per our general NCERT, usually internal. And these are oviparous, egg-laying, mostly oviparous. See what they have written? So majority of the arthropods will show fertilization inside the body, internal fertilization, and they are laying eggs. Most of them lay eggs. They are oviparous. But scorpions give birth directly to young ones. Scorpions are viviparous. But majority of them are egg-laying oviparous, and usually internal fertilization. Development may show a larva or may not show a larva. Development may show a larva or may not show a larva. So we can say direct and indirect development both is seen, like cockroach. Cockroach kya bologe? Cockroach is in our syllabus. Cockroach is an insect, arthropod. What you will say? Direct or indirect development? Do cockroach show larval stage? Do you think any larva comes out from the cockroach? No. In cockroach, we studied from the oothika, the young cockroach, the chinna cockroach, the nymph comes out. And that looks a little similar to the adult. So we will say direct development. So one example of direct development is already given in the NCERT. And then you have the butterfly, the bombyx, the mosquitoes. They show indirect development, larva. Mosquito, this Anopheles mosquito, Culex mosquito, they lay eggs in the water, fresh water, then the larva comes. That's why we put gambusia fish to eat the larvas of the mosquitoes. So mosquitoes will show what? The indirect development. Okay, so two examples already present in NCERT. Direct cockroach, indirect ho jayega tumhara mosquitoes. Are we clear with this? So direct, indirect development both seen. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. और फिर economically important, if you want to earn some money, you can grow honey. Okay, so bombyx, silkworm, Apis indica, sericulture, bombyx silkworm. Okay, a lot of different silk varieties are there. Apis indica, that is our Indian honeybee. Apis mellifera, European. Then Apis dorsata, rock bee, wild bee. So normally we use the Apis indica and the European bees to, mellifera, the smaller chinna honeybees, okay, to produce the honey. And then we have the lac insect, okay, lacifer insect, lac. And why it is called as a lac? Because it is considered that lac of insects are required to produce the resinous, to produce that resinous red color substance, which is called as the lac, which is used by many industries. Okay, cosmetic industry, toys also can be made from that. So a lot of use is there, and India is the biggest producer of lac, we can say. These are economically important arthropods. Don't forget prawns, lobsters, crabs. They are also economically important. Achha, very costly. Okay, tasting good also. And then we have the locusta, the locust, the gregarious pest. Gregarious means which are present in huge group. Gregarious word means present in huge group. You have seen a lot of animals moving in a huge group. They are called as a gregarious. So locusta doesn't come single. They come with a huge group. And if they attack the crop field, all the crops are finished. So these animals move with other pests collectively and attack the crop field. Since they are moving collectively in a group, that's why they are called as gregarious. Then mosquitoes, no doubt, female Anopheles, then female Culex, and the Aedes aegypti, female Aedes aegypti, very dangerous to us because they are vector arthropods, because they can carry the infectious pathogen from infected body to a non-infected body. So vector arthropods, animal transferring the infection from one animal to others, like Anopheles, female Anopheles, Culex and Aedes. Female Anopheles can carry malaria sporozoites. Your Culex carries the filarial worm larvas, and Aedes aegypti for chikungunya and dengue, what we study in human health and disease. So these are the danger ones, vector ones. Okay, moving ahead. And then this is our limulus. Limulus in NCERT, I think it is given as the king crab, but technically speaking, rightly speaking, it is a horseshoe crab. But we will go as per NCERT. King crab is a very huge crab, okay? So if you go and put the word king crab in the Google right now, you can see a very huge red color Alaskan, found in the Alaska, very big, huge crab. That is the king crab, big size. And this looks like a horseshoe, and that is your horseshoe crab or limulus. And this is called as a living fossil. Okay, why it is called as a living fossil? Because it is present on Earth since very long time and has not evolved a bit also. So since it is present in very long time, has not evolved a little bit also, that's why they are called as the living fossils. Okay, these are almost identical to the extinct species. So if we have some extinct species record also, if you match from them, they are looking very similar. Okay, and non-harmful, but still humans are not leaving them alone. Many of the countries, they collect the horseshoe crab, they remove their blue color blood. Okay, this is an exception, shows hemocyanin in the blood, that may be used for cancer treatment, as the scientists are saying, but still the research is going on. And here we complete what, guys? Here we complete our Arthropoda. Done? Arthropoda done, guys? Okay, so that's all for the class today. Okay, we completed the two classes, Annelida and Arthropoda. Arthropoda, a little bigger phylum, so it took a lot of time. In the next class, we will talk about mollusca, echinodermata, hemichordata, and urochordata and cephalochordata. Okay, the bigger one phylums, the two big phylums, we are going to talk about the echinoderms and the mollusca. After this, hemichordata, very chinna phylum, and then urochordata and cephalochordata we will study together. I think that is your syllabus. Till cephalochordates we need to talk about with respect to your exams. So I hope everything is clear, no doubts at all. So after this class, kindly revise. Okay, whatever we studied, try to solve a few MCQs. Try to solve some 30-40 MCQs related to this topic. Okay, any reference book you have, and that's it. So see you in the next class, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, guys. Take care.